Hey, welcome to Indie Comic Interviews. We have Vault Cobalt here, and he is going to tell us about his book that is now currently on the mailing list. And we're going to want you guys all to give your emails. And we also are going to take a look at a few other books this evening. Hopefully, the guys will show up. Our co-hosts are running late tonight because that's how much respect they have for you guys in the audience. Just so you know.
Oh,
No, that's harsh. That's harsh. Everybody knows better than that. I'm just being a jerk. So Cobalt. No, okay. So it's Vault, right? And Cobalt. That's correct pronunciation, or
yeah, you got it right.
right? So tell us about yourself, how you got into writing, your history with comics, like how long have you been a comic book fan, and so forth. Let us know a little bit about you. So,
Well, as it says on screen, I'm Volt Kobold. In the writing, I kind of say it's probably the same story for a lot of people. They build worlds in their head after reading a good book or seeing a good comic or whatnot, and they have a lot of what ifs in their head, and they just start telling the story. So that's kind of how I got into that. And I haven't really been into comics recently because even before the whole how shall I say the Marvel and DC getting having an agenda and whatnot in their comics before that whole era, I kind of fell off a little bit because even before it became blatant, it was just like stories weren't really doing it for me. I remember being having a summer job in New York and going to a comic shop and reading the Amazing Spider-Man, one of my personal favorites back then, and there was just something wrong with it. They were just retelling the story. It was kind of like a modern day reboot
mm-hmm.
of Spider-Man. It was just like it's not quite doing it for me for some reason. I didn't really get it.
A weak rehash is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like I know this story. I like this story, but it's just the art looks good, but the story's not quite doing it for me. So I kind of just fell off of comics a little bit. I got into manga and anime, and that was a strange thing for me. I'm like, comics wasn't doing it for me anymore, but manga still did. So I'm like, I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe I thought it was I just got older and my taste changed or something like that. But nah, come to find out years later, yeah, I just kind of figured it out before we had a name for it. They kind of had an agenda and stuff like that. They were falling off their game.
Yeah, they were spending more money on the management than they were on quality of product, but that will tank a creative resource faster than anything. I mean, you got to pay your talent. So
Yeah, you kind of see that a lot across all mediums. It's just first thing that suffers is a story, and then it's like the production value, and then just everything. They're just trying to squeeze so much money out of it. Everything else suffers.
yeah, I mean, you have to understand, like, when it goes corporate like that, the corporate model. I mean, like, for instance, I always use the Sci-Fi Channel as an example. Hey, we got Kino Subway. What's up, Chris? And Doomsday Kingdom Army. What's up, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hail, brothers. But like basically like Sci-Fi Channel is my favorite example for that because they're very so obvious that they're formulaic. You know what I mean? Like they want to have um, a formula established, and they want to draw their business that way. So so basically they can run spreadsheets and predict what things are going to make and how much an audience is, and they think that it's all on the formula. And hey, what's up, Lothar? And the thing that the problem with the formula method is that it kind of cuts back creativity a lot. Because if you think that if you think the formula is what makes some things work, then what you find is you spend so much time on the formula, and maybe you'll spend a lot of time on props, and maybe you'll have resources available. So, like the Sci-Fi Channel, obviously they have studios available. They have all the techs and the set workers. All these people are like regular working people, so they're just trying to keep them busy. So they're trying to just pump out stuff on on their formula. And usually like something will come out and like the first 2 or 3 episodes will be really good because they had a good idea when they started it. So they'll have the first couple episodes will be really good, but then it's like you could tell they didn't really have it written past that. you know they didn't really have the whole thing written and worked out and hashed out before they started it. They're like, oh, let's have this good idea, let's just jump into it, we'll follow the formula, you know what I mean. And what happens is stuff just gets really watered down, it gets weak, it gets incredibly boring, it gets predictable. You have the same exact shot. It might be futuristic this time, it might be old fashioned that time. What I mean? It's like everything looks like it's done generic, but even though it might be fresh stuff, but it's just follows the formula so much, you feel like you just watched it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's something I really noticed in entertainment. You like, it's not even that they don't have a story. It's like the first season of a really good show, it'll be so great. Especially when it comes to like comedy, it'll be
mhm.
outlandish. No holds barred. They don't really care because they know they might not make it past the first one. So they just go balls to the wall. They just do whatever they want, whatever's fun, whatever works. A great story, they don't care. And then you'll notice the more seasons they get, like you said, it gets watered down. They start becoming more tame. They start holding back. They get more safe. And you're like, that's not a story. Now you're just like you're saying, they're doing a formula.
Right.
And I kind of get it. Some formulas work, like the hero's journey. We've been doing that for what, centuries at this point, and it works. But you have to make it entertaining. You can follow a plan, not necessarily a formula. You can follow a loose plan, but you got to put the story, you got to put the creativity. That has to be the main focus. That has to be foremost, forefront. That's what people want. That's how you
Right.
get the legends of like, you want to go mythology, the legends of Hercules, the Greek legends, all that stuff, stories that have been told over and over again. They've been gone from different angles, different sides. They keep getting told. They're legends. They're part of our culture. They're part of our underlying humanity in some ways. That's how you get that, because it's a good story. It can have its lesson, it can have everything, but it's also an entertaining story. You love to hear it. You love to see it.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is when you go all formulaic like that, even like down to the writers and everybody who's working on the project, they're just collecting a paycheck. You know what I mean? None
They're
of them
phoning
are
it
like,
in.
yeah, none of them are all passionate, so it just, the actors want the gig, so they're putting it in, but they're directed by a guy who really doesn't care. You know what I mean? He's all like, yeah, I got this, I'm going on here, and then after this is over, I got to go direct this other thing, and you know what I mean? It's just a day job to them. and
Yeah,
and that's the downside to like channels like Sci-Fi Channel and shows like that, is it really gets very day jobby. There's always the exception. There are shows that are like that just kick butt, but it's because the team that's built to work on the show is not like just some generic team that belongs to a studio. They're a team that was built for the show. I would use Star Trek as an example. The every Star Trek series before the most recent one, you
oh
know what I
yeah,
mean? Basically didn't follow those stupid formulas. They had their own formula, but they were always, like for instance, they would have the cast, like people in the cast would sometimes write an episode, and sometimes they would actually direct episodes. You know what I mean? And they would
oh yeah.
try new things, and they were doing stuff. So it was never like, okay, you know what? Let's do a story about blah blah blah. Here, somebody write it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it was like, hey, we got this great idea. Let's do an episode like this. You know what I mean? So it was always the right approach with that. I don't feel like any Star Trek episode ever of from the original series all the way through Enterprise, I don't feel like any of those episodes were ever like phoned in. You know what I mean? None of them felt like half-assed or any of those things. However, after Enterprise, I don't endorse any Star Trek after Enterprise.
Yeah, Star Trek always seemed to me, and a lot of certain franchises, it's more like everyone, it was work, but they enjoyed their work. They were passionate about it. They were basically living in this little make believe world, this little universe, and they were, like I said, they're telling stories. And everybody has their own take. You have stories in your head, these what ifs. And when you play certain characters and you love your job, you start thinking about that character even when it's not your job. So you say, what if let's use Worf as an example. He had
Mm,
some great stories. I'm sure someone on the cast or even Worf himself was just thinking about it. Well, my character wouldn't do this. How would he behave in this situation or this situation or this or that?
mm-hmm.
They start thinking about their flaws and everything like that. Some of the best episodes in Star Trek, especially, explored people's flaws, their shortcomings, their weaknesses. Their like Deep Space Nine. They looked a lot into the characters and hard decisions about themselves. Especially
Right.
like Cisco, he had some great episodes where he just he looked at himself and he didn't even like looking at himself sometimes. He's just like he had these flaws and he didn't even like them, but he
Yeah.
accepted them.
Deep
That's
Space
nice to
Nine,
be.
Deep Space Nine was a good example of original storylines every time. I mean, they wouldn't just like, okay, well, we have this universe, we're just going to explore this universe. No, they're like, okay, how can we do this crazier? You know what I mean? I loved the wormhole people. You know what I mean? That they were like a non-linear existence, and that like the way that they tried to interpret that was that was brilliant. You know what I mean? It's just yeah, that they don't even have that kind of writing anymore. I don't understand like why they don't even know to like refer to something as great as they're what they used to do. I don't know if it's the team of the people or if it's just gone so corporate or what. I mean, because obviously it's driven by ABC now and not and not Roddenberry Productions. You know what I mean? So it's
I
kind of
think
hard.
it's a lack of self reflection. It's a lack of looking inward and being a little philosophical about life. Not taking everything so literally and doing like little soul searching. Like again, like you said, that not non-linear existence. And like again, that's a perspective thing. That's like getting out from your own perspective and looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah. Well, it goes way, way back. I mean, this is not a new problem. I mean, it's like, I mean, a lot of people would say, yeah, well, Hollywood got their hands on it. You know what I mean? That kind of approach used to be a statement that would be an excuse for why a production would get in its own way. So
Yeah, like you said, it's an excuse. Like it's better to try some and fail and be passionate about it because you can respect that. Because I've seen some, I'm sure we've all seen some movies or read some comics and stuff like that, and you're just like, it wasn't that good, but I
what's up,
appreciate the effort.
Brian?
Hey, hello,
What's up?
Brian.
Pleasure to meet you, Vault Cobalt.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yeah. Do I refer to you as Vault or Mr. Cobalt, or do you have a less formal name I should address you with?
Uh, Vault's fine. Mr. Cobalt's for people who annoy me, so there you
Okay.
go.
All right. just checking. Just never hurts to check.
Nah, you're good. I'm pretty
Look,
laid back.
excellent. Looking forward to seeing your book tonight, man.
Yeah, I look forward to presenting it. Hopefully, like we just discussed, it's a good story for everybody.
Excellent.
So, what have you been doing today, Brian?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm ADD as fuck, which is okay. I can like weaponize my attention deficit disorder if I like multitask, and like I'll get like a little writing done, then I'll go like do some vacuuming, a little cleaning, and then like a little more work, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
That's cool. It's also a dangerous formula. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. When I do that, I get a lot of half done shit.
Oh, it's dangerous if you do that every day. But it's just like, it's just like if I'm having an ADD day and I realize it's usually when I'm like, because I try to meditate at least twice a day. When I'm sitting there and it's just not, it's like I can't help it. I can't keep my mind clear. I start thinking about, just like stupid shit. And I'm like, okay, it's an ADD day. Let's get some shit done. Time to clean out that dishwasher.
All right, so Sim has an excuse.
What's up with Sim?
Hello, everyone. Having some internet connection issues trying to solve it.
What up, Simon? Take your shirt off.
No, the prostitute's not leaving. That's what's going on. She's just hanging around.
That's what you pay them for. You don't pay a prostitute for sex. You pay them to leave. So she's very unprofessional if that's the case.
Maybe he's looking for the money.
Pay her in Bitcoin.
I don't think they take credit cards, so he's screwed on
Do you
that
take
front.
PayPal?
Oh man. Oh, that's horrible.
That's so I can ask for a refund later.
Oh man, could you imagine that? Contest the charge.
That would be hilarious.
That would be.
He'll be trying to pay her in sketches or something.
Sketch cards.
Nope,
That would be awesome. Oh, Drew, police squatted. I always call this police squatting. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
I'm not familiar with it.
Am I back? I'm
Okay,
back.
you're back.
Okay.
You're back.
Yeah, my internet's obviously having issues of its own. So.
Oh, Sims infected everyone.
Yeah. God damn you, Simon.
And we have Minnie joining us. She doesn't join us very often. She's here with us tonight.
Excellent.
It's my fuzzy baby. She's the really fuzzy one.
Oh, she looks cute. Now she knows we're talking about her. She's like, what? Say what?
She heard us.
Yeah, you're talking shit about me. I see Lothar D in the chat. What's up, Lothar D? Kino Subway. What else we got hanging out? Doomsday Kingdom Army. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us this evening.
You hear him? I'm not the only one with connection problems. Lo, it's called karma.
Right?
Sounds like a threat.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. People are always like, it's karma, instant karma. Karma is supposed to not be in this life. Karma is in the next life.
Instant karma is not next life. Instant karma is this.
Would be now, yeah.
Right.
So basically, when people are talking about karma, they're talking about instant karma, or like relatively like fast food karma.
Yeah. Instant karma is my favorite John Lennon song. So
yeah.
Instant. It's like how that chorus is well, shine on. You know that one.
Yep.
Of
course.
Karma,
Yeah. It's hard. That's hard to forget. First, I love all those instant karma mixes that are on YouTube. Those are always fucking great. People acting the fool and like getting their comeuppance like literally within seconds. That's the best.
Kind of makes me think what I did in a past life to deserve this.
Right?
Yeah, I must have done something.
Something.
You know what? I could think that way, but I'm more worried what my next life's going to be like. 'Cause I was fucked up in this one, and I'm not done.
At least. Well, here's the thing. It's like, okay, well, what did I do last life? Well, hopefully I had at least a lot of fun. Do you know what I mean? If I was evil, then maybe hopefully I was like Caligula or somebody like that, and like, got off on all the horrible things I was doing. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, what if you're like Attila the Hun?
Yeah. Or, Vlad Tepes, or but that's the thing is like everybody who thinks that that believes in reincarnation and thinks that they've been reincarnated, it's never just like, it's always like Napoleon or Cleopatra. It's never, just like some jerk off that was
the reason why it's like that is because most people, have to associate to a specific character that they're aware of. You know what I mean? Like if I wouldn't have been a famous person if I was reincarnated. You know what I mean? If it's very likely that I would have just been like an evil prick. You know what I mean? So like maybe I was just like some guy working at some fucking concentration camp or something fucked up like that.
Or like a knight or a samurai that's just like riding through the countryside, see some farmer or like some peasant. Like, yeah, I'll just stick him with a spear just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, or a tax collector. In olden days, you know what I mean? Medieval tax collector, you know what I mean? Those were like the worst. I mean, really, a medieval time tax collector. There was nobody lower than that. There was nobody.
Yeah,
I mean, like even by today's standards, there's nobody lower than that.
Yep. My mom always thought that I was like reincarnated from like a knight or something like that, just because ever since I was a little kid, for as long as she could remember, I could remember, always had a fascination
You know
with
what?
these
I have
things.
a feeling. I have a feeling
Damn.
all of us have been reincarnated from at least that time period because there were so many deaths. You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
gosh. But there weren't that many people. You know, it's not like they're like now. There's like how many people in the world now? 3 billion.
No, actually, the prior to the Black Plague, right? There was a big, huge population explosion. The Black Plague was part of the consequence to that population explosion, and and it took out a lot of people, but also things like mumps came around during that time period. You know what I mean? And that stopped people from being able to breed. So there's a lot of stuff that happened that cut the population numbers dramatically in the from what was it, like 1,000 AD to 1200 AD, in that time range. I mean, apparently like the population numbers went worldwide.
Yeah, it was
So kind of like a big California.
Or New York City, man. People are
Well, they
fucking.
got the plague over there, man. So I'm just thinking.
Hey, man, like there's an exodus now of people just leaving. All the rich people are leaving New York City. It actually might become like cool again.
Well, New York City, a lot of people realized because of the city aspect, once they realized they could work from home and they didn't have to work in the city, they're like, "Fuck this! I am not living in the city." So the Ozarks, believe it or not, have been having a real estate explosion because it's all really nice and greeny and beautiful, and there's beautiful lakes, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like moving away from New York cities and moving to the Ozarks. A lot of people had vacation homes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they just decided
people,
to move to those.
Yep.
The Central Coast, California, had a fucking housing boom because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I'm probably gonna have to sell this place, but I'm probably gonna get like 300 grand for it or something like that. So at least a neighbor of mine got like close to that. So people are like buying stuff up that's like outside of the city, but still close enough where like you could commute, or at least go in maybe like once a week, twice a week, or something like that.
Well, the train on that side is actually pretty good. You know what I mean? So
it is. And I'm not for, and I'm pretty close to the trains from here. Although, man, that fucking commute, man, doing that commute every day is brutal. I ain't doing that shit again.
Yeah, well, try it on a fucking bus, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, there were a few years. There was like 2 years that shit was real hard from after the recession that we had. That one.
Mm-hmm.
My car broke down during the recession. And I ended up having to walk, pretty much like I would walk to the grocery store, and I would do that kind of stuff. If I needed a ride somewhere, like I was going to rent a car, I'd actually call my mother to give me a lift. You know what I mean? Or I would take the bus. But anytime I had to commute anywhere. So like the biggest nightmare was trying to keep scheduled appointments. Because you're meeting with clients. You know what I mean? And nothing would suck worse than having to walk fast to meet with a client and show up all fucking sweaty. You know what I mean? Or have to run for a bus because it fucking left before it was supposed to. You know what I mean? Or it just.
Are the buses there reliable? Because like here, like in the suburbs, if you want to take a local bus, you're fucked. But there's literally a bus that stops like outside of my house that goes to the city every day, and that's there like always on time.
Okay, the problem is I could say that they're reliable.
Yeah,
but that would be a miscommunication. What's up, Zayd? I see you in there.
Well, Phil.
So like you can they're mostly reliable. You know what I mean? So I would say like maybe like 85% reliable. So if you know that you need to get from a certain place at a certain time, right? You don't take the bus that says it's going to get you there on time. You go for the one before that.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then sometimes you might want to go for the one before that, because if it's an important meeting. Because let me just tell you, there have been times 2 buses in a row back to back have not made the stop, and I was an hour late. You know, so so like if you know that you miss a bus, you're like, okay, I might need to fucking figure something else out.
At least they'll still be there. I have a friend who lives in Tokyo, and he says that in Japan, if the meeting is at like 12 and it's like 12:01, you walk into that room's gonna be fucking empty. Like they're just like, okay, peace out.
That's real truth, man. That's real truth. I have gone to meetings where they don't want to meet. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be there. So like it's like right before lunch or whatever, and if you're 5 minutes late, they're fucking gone. Yeah.
Wow.
No, you have to show up early to meetings if you want to meet, if the meeting is important. Now, if you're the one everybody's waiting on, if you're the important person for the meeting, they'll wait all day for you.
Yeah, then you could be a dick. Then you can be yeah, they can wait. I'll stop and have a burger somewhere.
Sim hasn't made it.
What up, Simon?
Hey, Sim.
What's up?
Sim.
I'm here to your rescue, Vault.
Yay.
I don't know about that.
So the book is called Havoc, and I obviously have to make obviously there's no association to the X-Men character, correct?
Who?
Yeah, there's no superheroes in this one. It's a modern day take.
So tell us about the book.
Well, basically it follows our protagonist, which is a female Interpol agent, our sexy French woman.
Oh.
You'll see her shortly.
Ooh,
She's basically tasked with finding out why a bunch of criminals throughout the world are congregating in New York City, which leads to a certain conspiracy / mystery, and it's a bit of a thriller as she's basically chasing them and they're basically chasing something else. And that something else happens to be quite possibly the thing that can control the entire criminal underworld, should they be able to obtain it.
So it's like an espionage thriller, would you say, or is it more like a noir?
It's more like a noir because it's like I said, it kind of builds on the action. There's a bit of action, then it slows down again, and then there's a big climax at the end with hopefully most of your questions answered in a pleasantly surprising manner.
Excellent. Sounds cool.
I do have a rough video to show you if you want me to.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. We need more like crime comics.
You're not showing your screen yet, then I take it. Okay. So do you want to watch this video that you have on the campaign?
That one's just a placeholder and it's basically just a gift. Oh, interesting story. I have it on Vimeo because YouTube struck me.
For the video?
Yeah.
Was it a
a 7-second video with no sound, and it was unlisted.
Mother effers, man.
Well,
Yeah.
What did they say? What they struck you for?
Apparently, it was a community strike for spam, scam, or deceptive content, which I don't see how that qualifies for anything. But I can show you the rough. I got this today. Hold on, let me try and share my screen. Let me know when it's ready. Can you see it?
No.
It's a black screen.
I don't see anything. You're not showing your screen yet.
Really? Oh. Let me see. Now let me click the share audio because it does have a little bit of audio. And this was not the final product. It's just a rough I got today. Can you see it now?
Coming up.
See it on screen.
All right, I'm going to hit play.
Ah, there we go. Cool. I'm a little triggered by that image of like a hot female, though.
Mission accomplished.
You're not supposed to have hot women in comics anymore. It's verboten. It's forbidden. You didn't get that memo though, but that's cool. Neither did we.
Oh, I got it. I just tore it
there
up.
was a there was
Exactly.
a memo. There was a memo. I'm not even on the mailing list, I guess. So
You're right.
whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever about the memos, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, you're in good company because we're all about saying to that memo.
Oh,
Let's
I think before the comic's done, people are really gonna like her.
Very cool. Very cool. And you are doing the you're the writer, or are you also doing the art?
No, Archsider's doing the art. I'm just the writer.
Cool.
And then got this gruffy little man called Steve that's helping me out with everything.
Excellent.
That guy.
Did we just hear him snickering in the background?
Like,
Steve died.
that guy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that gremlin.
Yep.
Nah, but yeah, Archsider's art is great, and he's been improving throughout the course.
So you
of the
have
comic.
more stuff you want to show us, or
Yeah, sure. I can show you a few pages.
Baz wants to know if she's politically correct or not.
Yeah.
Most definitely not. She's all woman.
And Baz had a comment when we were talking about reincarnation. Everyone is reincarnated as Spartacus, never Spartacus's piss boy. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. All right, let's see if I can dig this up real quick. Yeah.
Spartacus piss boy.
Spartacus. Back in a sec. I just need this TV fill. Must get recaffeinated.
All right. Can you see my screen?
I can. We have it up.
All right. This is our cover that you already saw in the last video. There's me, I did the story. There's Archsider's great art, our letterist James Reed, and edit and production by Steve Dye, someone who needed 2 titles. Here's where our story kind of little prologue, more of a Catherine, her getting her assignment, and then I'm just gonna keep scrolling through here real fast. Hold up, not fast enough. Yeah, there we go. That's
So you're like halfway through about?
Nah, we're on page 40, so we got about 8 more and we'll be done. And we also have our great artist Archsider working on some other stuff, so we can fill out that mailing list page with some features. Oh, and anyone who signs up to the mailing list will get a trading card for signing up with a special guest artist, which will be revealed at a later date.
Special guest artist. That will be revealed at a later date.
Yes, and we are also having a novella add-on that Doodlebags is doing the illustrations for. And that is, let's see, we got 1 page left from Doodlebags. Which
How many pages is the whole thing?
The comic?
The novella.
The novella.
Oh, the novella. The pages aren't nailed down, but it's got I think last count 13 illustration pages. Yeah, Steve's currently working on it, putting it together.
Steve's a
cool.
machine.
He's got to keep busy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's plenty busy.
Sounds like Baz is disappointed that the main character is not as politically as correct as he was asking.
I think once you see, the crap, he's been summoned.
See?
We got lucky last time. Now he's here.
Yep. We did say his name too many times. I think we passed the 4.
And
Gonna have, we could wait. Dude, we yeah. We're gonna have to check them out. Yeah.
But I think Baz will be satisfied with the comic, should he choose to back it.
But first, would be wise to go on that mailing list so you can get the free trading card.
Oh yeah.
When you back it.
Apparently, Baz is now infatuated with whatever Brian may be doing involving bathrooms.
Uh-oh.
Is he talking? Is that him
Yeah, I
talking?
heard something
Yeah.
about putting something in the microwave. I don't know what it is, but
Uh-oh.
It's high tea.
But yeah, we're gonna have a special artist for the trading card, which will be exclusive, and also the books will be numbered. Another exclusive. If there's ever a second printing or whatever, those will not be numbered. So backers will be getting exclusive content, as they should.
Yeah, you should give the backers, more than you'd give like a general consumer. You should definitely approach it like that, because they got to get something for their money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, not to mention they're putting their face in me. I'm a first time comic creator. Artside is also a first timer. Steve might be a bit of a veteran, but still, I can't have Steven vouching for me. I got to prove myself to the community and everybody else. They're putting their hard-earned money into my project. Might as well make it worth it for them.
That's good logic. It's good logic.
Well, it's not just. It's kind of the sentiment. I mean,
so how far does the story arc currently go?
Oh, this is a one shot, so it's a complete story.
Okay, and how many pages is it?
It's 48 pages, full color. Yeah, Archard is also doing the colors, which personally I think are really good. They mesh real well with his art.
Yeah, he's great at colors.
Yes, well, sometimes he's a little too vibrant. I've on more than one occasion I got to tell him to tone it down a little bit. But what was it? Yeah, the first page was actually Catherine after she was toned down a little bit. That's the name of our protagonist.
Did they call her Cat for short, or Kathy, or anything like that?
Her superiors call her, formally and whatnot. But yeah, the poor bastard that gets involved with her and the criminals, yeah, he calls her Cat.
Now I just got a Vanilla Ice flashback. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Cool as Ice. That was like the Vanilla Ice movie. There's a scene in that where he's like, "Yo, girl, what's your name?" She's like, "Catherine," and he's like, "Oh yeah, Cat." There's a little Vanilla Ice trivia for you folks out there that you didn't ask for. But here we don't always give you what you ask for. We give you what you need.
And sometimes not even that.
Well, if she don't like you, she might shoot you.
That's what I was thinking.
And she's more than capable of doing it.
Stab you in the foot or something.
Oh yeah, some stabbing will be involved in this comic.
Ooh, knife fights?
And that's one way to put it.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to get you to drop any spoilers.
Oh no, I'm not the one you got to worry about.
You should tell us a little bit more about the book, though. I mean, so that people can be enticed. We have nothing to show except a little bit of artwork and a title and a short description. Like, tell us about what makes the lead character extra special, the protagonist, Catherine. What makes her like super awesome?
Well, let me just pull up her file, because I do have a file for her.
I see Baz's comment. Brian's number 1 turned into a number 2. Oh man, everybody's speculating on what I'm doing in the bathroom. It's just making tea.
Making tea in the bathroom. What?
Toilet water, dirty toilet water. And Baz mentions Wait Ammonia. That, I have to say, was a CG book that I really was impressed with. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful art in that. So many great books. Now, the campaign for this, for Havoc, is that launched or is it in pre-campaign mode?
It's in pre-campaign mode.
It's in mailing list mode.
Okay, perfect. Because like like the whole thing where it's like you're not supposed to launch like a campaign in November or December.
Yeah, he was telling me about that before we went on live, and that's a bit of a consideration. Yeah.
Although then I'm thinking like maybe it would be a good idea for somebody to do that because nobody else is doing it at that time, so their book will be the like the only one. But
yeah, that logic doesn't work. Trust me, I tried that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Well,
yeah, I wouldn't. It would blow up in my face for sure.
Yeah, some other people are also launching. Well, it's at this point, Comicsgate got plenty of people launching. Now, concerning Catherine, I got plenty of information on her. She's a bit of a history and whatnot. She's basically been military her whole life, a decorated officer. She's been a decorated French officer, of course. She's been in the Navy, in the Marine branch, in the Green Berets, and she's got quite a prestigious history. All of that kind of gets thrown away in the course of her little adventure because, sometimes superiors put their own interest ahead of the interests of their agents. And there's consequences to that, but she's pretty straight-laced and she takes it in stride and she does the right thing, even if it comes at a personal cost. And I think in all good stories, there's always a personal cost.
I agree with that. Especially when you're dealing with like crime or espionage stories.
Yeah, there's a bit of, they're all criminals. That's pretty well established. And it's a fair bit of espionage. She gets a little flippant about her duties concerning her superiors and, again, doing the right thing.
And you said she's an Interpol agent, right?
Yeah, she's an unofficial Interpol agent because Interpol doesn't really, again, it's based in the modern day, so Interpol's more of a information-based agency. They're not supposed to actually have agents in the field and whatnot that have guns and, despite popular misconception in movies and whatnot, they don't have actual agents that do that sort of stuff.
Right, but when you're a writer, you can always always change that and be like, well, officially they don't, but
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah. And she is from France. Oui?
Yeah, throw a little French cursing in there. Just one.
Merda. That's one line. That's about all the French I know. Merda.
I actually know a girl named Merda, and it did not go over well for her. Let me just tell you.
Oh God.
Do I want to know what that means?
It means shit, man.
It means shit. It means number shit.
It's not murder. It's merde. It ends with an E.
Merde. Yeah, merde is he pronounced it like a French person, which I couldn't do.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody who is like, say, Italian or Portuguese pronouncing it, it will come out merda, because they will throw that extra on there. So you may have picked that up, someone hearing somebody Italian speaking French.
Most likely. But because I've watched like a billion Italian movies, I only watched like a handful of French movies because the French don't make a lot of horror films.
Yeah, but I actually know a girl named Merda, and it is spelled merde.
Poor,
you know what I mean?
Girl.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it's not French. It's not French. She was.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was something. Her name, I think, is.
The French may be saying many things, but they're not that cool to call a kid merde.
and hey, the French love comic books, so we're cool with them.
Well, considering Napoleon and everything he did, it's probably a good idea not to piss off the French too much.
Yeah, the French are all right, except them French Canadians. Yeah,
the people are not real America.
Yeah, they're not real America.
Yeah,
which is better. 2.0.
Someone's
you
talking
go.
about an upgrade.
There you go.
go.
Hey, all I'm saying is the Canuckistan, they gave us David Cronenberg and the Trailer Park Boys, so we're good. We're all right.
Don't forget, there's also Rick Moranis. There's a whole bunch of
John
people.
Candy.
John Candy. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Aykroyd.
Yep. Lots of Canuckistanis that have done great things in
Oh,
that
the
have
arts and music and
that are now refugees in the USA. You mean?
They're not refugee. They just moved there because every time you like one of us, you go move here, move here, move here.
right. We jet
Well,
like
if it
At this
wasn't,
point,
if it
it's
wasn't all I'm saying, if it wasn't more desirable, they wouldn't move.
well, it's not all of them do. I mean, David Cronenberg is still there.
Yeah, you can't give everybody a class. You know what I mean? All right, that was harsh. We're picking on Canada a little too much, but
It's like,
Hey,
but it's in the
what the
line.
hell? Whatever makes you feel better about yourself.
There it is.
And needs to be careful. You know, their landlords will get mad and have them start speaking Chinese.
Oh man, Baz says Wade Ammonia, Six Gun Gorilla, and Captain Love are my CG books so far.
sweet.
No blood, no blood hunt.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Well, or not yet. He's just probably not aware of it yet. Baz is he says so far, which means that he hasn't had a lot of books to consume, right? You know,
Probably.
So maybe he missed out on Blood Hunt and hasn't heard about Knack the Merc with Blood Hunt option on it.
Needs to definitely check
So
out.
before we go down that rabbit hole, anything else that we should know about Havoc? I mean, I put the link in the mailing list to get you guys on the mailing list. I put that link in the description in the chat, they call it, and so click that link and give him your email. So
Yeah, how many issues you have planned?
Well, this is a one shot, but if this Havoc does good, it might become a sort of series. And I already got the script for the second one planned out and done with. And
Cool.
I might be working on a third one as well. So again, it depends on whether there's enthusiasm for it. If the backers want more, I'm ready for you.
That's
And
great.
The second one is it's a bit of a period piece. It's based in Chicago in the Prohibition era. So yeah, expect if that one gets made, there'll be, gangsters, Tommy guns. Again, as the title says, Havoc.
Nice. Yeah, with a title like that, you got to deliver. You got to deliver some mayhem. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, this one's got it in there. That's kind of
Ouch! That one actually hurt. Ouch!
this is what happens when we summon him.
Dude.
What up, Steve?
I'm still snickering.
He's just a demon on Sim's shoulder.
Reach out and fuck with someone.
Funny times.
Yep.
All right, so make sure you get yourself on the mailing list for Havoc, and make sure you check that out. And when it launches, we'll likely have him on here again to let you guys know that it's launched. Artsider is a good artist. I've seen him do a lot of fan art. He does, he actually did Captain Love fan art too. So of course that makes me a little biased probably. As far as that goes, I mean, I wish we could say more about the book. I mean, you haven't said a lot about what's going on in it other than the premise.
You can't.
So
It's technically an espionage. It's a mystery story.
yeah, I know that
Right.
makes it difficult.
thriller.
I get it. Yeah, that's why I was asking about the characters. Like, what's like cool about like
Do we see
extra
nudity?
special? Yeah. Are there titties?
Yeah, there's
There is. How can I put this? There's some nudity, but it's tasteful. Sorry, I've seen Dr. Love. It's not at your level, but that's a hard level to reach.
I mean, the nudity in Captain Love isn't like even like close to over the top. So
Yeah.
it's
Just enough to
actually
keep the
it's
I know
actually
popcorn.
quite wild.
what he's I think he's trying to say is you might be seeing some showers, some change of clothes, but probably nothing sexual.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a modern take, but there's some classical classical feel to it. So it's more of those alluding to things.
Mm-hmm.
Less is more. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like for instance, are you saying that it would be like in this? There's a good example here of exactly what I'm trying to talk about here. In this Flash Gordon, there is a scene where the one of the female characters is actually nude, but she's not actually nude. I mean, she's nude in the scene, but she's not actually shown nude. You mean like that, or do you mean like? Because tasteful is subjective. You know what I mean? One man's tasteful is another man's,
You
pill.
triggered you
pill.
triggered a sensitive nerve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's a big difference between like, Playboy and Hustler. When I was a kid, man,
A hustler opens legs and actually shows.
gynecological.
It'll also show penises in
Yep.
the shots as well, which is is like one step short of porn, right?
Yes, but never erect.
No, actually, they do show that. They actually show like the poses in Hustler and stuff like that.
Oh.
I mean, I haven't looked at Hustler in a long time.
Where are you guys going with this conversation here?
I don't know. Brian brings up porn a lot, so
Yeah, I do.
Well,
You're trying to bring Havoc on this channel or something?
Little mayhem.
yeah, we're already there.
A little tasteful mayhem.
Yeah, well, I'd say if I had to give it a rating, it'd be like PG-13.
Yeah, that's where I would put my book too. Yeah.
You'll get like some silhouettes and stuff like that, and you'll get like some back shots and everything like that, but nothing full frontal.
Yeah, see, we definitely go full frontal with Captain Love. So
yeah,
and it's well done. I don't think I got that kind of skill.
Nothing wrong with a little nudity. People need to get over that, or I should say, Americans need to get over that. It's like one thing we're really fucked up about.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Every artist has their weakness. Writers have weaknesses too. That's one of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually have no issues with it at all. I actually prefer that something is told right. You know what I mean? And sometimes trying to hide the nudity will take away from the story. You know what I mean? And sometimes nudity will make the impact. I usually like.
It depends on the impact you want, like you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Depends on on the effect that you want to produce. Like with the Hammer horror movies, like when they started, once they could show real nudity, they became 100 times less sexy. Those movies were sexier when they couldn't show nudity.
I think of movies like when it comes to nudity, I always think of the example of Love and Other Drugs. You know what I mean? With Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever. I can never pronounce his name when I'm trying to. But you guys know what movie I'm talking about. And anyway, there's like a lot of that movie where they're both characters are freaking completely naked. You see all Anne Hathaway, and and it's done tastefully. It's like all kinds of nudity is done tasteful. And like nobody would ever complain that movie had too much nudity in it. You know what I mean? But the thing is like the best thing about that movie is when it was in the theaters. I was actually working in the movie theaters at the time. Mm-hmm. So I would take dates to that movie and they would get so excited.
Yeah, man.
Is that your go-to move?
You know what? That you just tell you. You know what? It's there. I don't actually. No, that's not my go-to move. But on a date, when a girl is needs to be felt out, a sexy romance will tell you what her intentions are because she'll have difficulty hiding them after that. It's
it's like a litmus test then, huh?
It's like if you took a guy to a strip bar afterwards and you would, you know what I mean? Like a girl, if she like took a guy to a strip bar on a date, she'd be able to see like a lot of what kind of guy he was. You know what I mean? Like, is he like real modest and shy, or is he like, you know, a little bit loose and you know, is he looky? Is his eyes going to be focused on her because he's there with her? It's like, fuck, I don't care if I'm a strip bar. I'm here with you. You know what I mean? There's approaches to everything. That might be a little extreme. Like, you know what I mean? That would be very difficult for most men. But yeah.
Or like Travis Bickle taking Susan Shepard. Is it that Susan Shepard? I forget her name, but taking a date to like see like a hardcore skin flick and just like being like shocked that like she would be outraged, and he's just like, "Wow, just taking you to see a movie."
Yeah. Well, I've had girls do all kinds of crazy things on first dates as tests. All kinds of them. One of them introduced me to her like best friend, right? And her best friend was like super hot.
Yeah.
And she was doing it to see if, and this was like, you know, this was like a first date kind of thing. And she was doing it to see if I thought her friend was hotter than her. And I'm
That's
like,
just cruel.
yeah, well, I was obviously when she told me that that's what she was up to, I was all like, well, you're not going to get a second date anyway. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, like girls don't see. One thing is like a lot of girls don't realize that, you know, sometimes it's, you know, guys will just prefer to be alone, you know, and
Yep.
you know, there's some girls that probably like that, you know, also, but, you know, but the thing is like a lot of women treat dates like the man needs them and they don't need the man. You know what I mean? Like they go into it just like that. And that, and those girls don't, you know, don't end up with a loving relationship. They usually end up with a husband that, you know, might have money and cheats on them and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, and they're like, you know, the trophy wife until she gets pregnant and have kids. And then, you know, then she's the handbag on the shelf, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that whole manipulation stuff. Nah, I don't like that from girls, companies, nobody.
Yep. Yeah, when you don't realize, like, you thought you were going on a date, but you're going actually like on an audition.
Like, yeah, it's not a job interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
Tales from the Netverse.
With a lot of girls, it really is a job interview, though. That's the thing.
Oh.
You know, and,
I know.
but if I feel like I'm being interviewed for a job, I tend to like, you know, just, you know, move on. You know,
Yep. See ya.
I might still tap that ass first, but you know, but then it's like, see ya.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, you need a little fun out of the situation,
right?
Well, you know, let's be real. I mean, that's pretty much fucking the main reason why most guys go on dates anyway. I mean, it's like, you know, you don't date a girl to find out if she's gonna, you know, you take, you know, if she's gonna like clean your house and take care of you when you get old and that kind of stuff. That's not what you figure out on your first couple of dates. You know, you figure out if she's gonna be a fuckable or not. That's where you're. What do you got going on here, Sim?
I'm working on a Demona story, but this is what I was going to show you guys. I'm working on for Tales from. Technically, it's going to be in one of the next Tales from the Netverse, but those are characters from the Netverse. It's technically the Resistance Army, and they're called the Chaos Chasers.
Oh, nice.
What is he? Half snake?
Mm-hmm. But technically, he's not half snake. He's a snake alien.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's the Chaos Chasers is a unique alliteration choice. I you know, CHCH.
Yes.
That's
Yep. And that's why, like, if you look at the logo, it's 2 C's in reverse with the
nice.
2 boats, and it looks like it's a chain.
Right.
Because it's technically in the world in the Netverse, like the Insectoid, humanoids. There's a whole bunch like of faction that are very xenomorph, and them are like the army, like the freedom fighters of people that want to, of those aliens that are united against that type of tyranny.
Nice.
So that's why I thought like the idea of like a black planet, so you don't know what it is, and something that looks like a chain.
You know, it took a moment for me to see the chain, but yeah, it's very cool.
You see it more here.
Yeah, I didn't see the
Right,
chain
right.
as much as I saw two C's that formed an H.
That's
is
the
what I was seeing. Yeah, an H on its side is where I was kind of like with that. But now I see the chain that you're talking about.
So are these going to be characters in a story, or are they going to be like supporting characters, background characters?
They're relevant. That's what I'm saying. Like not you have not the Merc, all these people, but they're in a universe, in a
Right.
multiple galaxies.
Right.
So in there you have a different type of faction, aliens and stuff, and that's what I'm saying. So they're all over the place. So they interact with that not a lot.
I always love the Starjammers in the old X-Men comics. That's what this kind of reminds me of, just a little bit.
Starjammers. Yeah.
Starjammers.
No, but that guy, that Snake guy is like highly inspired by one of my favorite characters. Because I always thought like usually the Snake guys are always evil.
Right. Right.
There's only one that's fucking a badass, and I love him to death. So it's kind of like inspiration to him. Alien Legions.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Sariga. Dude,
Yeah,
that guy,
man.
he was the only one, and he was badass as hell.
I love that comic, man.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like my little wink of him, is I wanted to put a Snake guy in there.
That's awesome.
But they're also connected to the Skullbusters.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm saying. Get Tales to the Netverse and find out everything I got planned in there, because I think I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh, hell yes, Simon.
You should see the giant mechs and stuff.
The giant necks?
Mechs.
Mechs?
Mech. Yeah, mech.
Mechs. MECH.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, hell yeah. I love me some giant robots.
I always really like the bad guy that the guy that looks like a bad guy turns out to be a good guy. I always kind of like that trope.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Me too.
And like he's slimy and whatnot, but it turns out, hey, he's actually a good dude.
And snakes aren't slimy. They're shiny.
It's what I try. That's what I also tried to pull with Bloodhunt. He's not very likable, but you do like him.
Yep. That's totally true. I can't wait to write that character, man. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, there's a few crossover there. There's gonna be one with the God's Hand too.
Oh, and Preston got his. He posted on the Twitter today. He got the proofs for Doc Salem. Looking sweet, man. Gonna have that soon.
Can't freaking wait.
I know, me too.
And come on, Monster for what is it again? Monster Hunter versus the Monster for Hire. Come on, think about it.
Yeah, Monster Hunter versus Vampire Assassin. Right yourself. I can't wait to write that fight, man. That's gonna be great.
What do you got here, Volt? What's this?
Oh, this is a rough of our little novella. This is one of Doodlebag's works right here, and this is this is not final, but there's a rough of it.
Cool.
I like the fact that Doodlebag has a European style.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a European comic style. Yeah.
Also, since you brought up snakes, hold on, let me just close this real quick. Let's see if I can find a big bad snake for Sim. Here we go.
Sim, he's insulting your manhood.
Oh snap!
Nah.
Nobody insults Sim's manhood, man.
He's saying Sim needs a big bad snake.
Well, I got one for him right here.
Yeah, just a regular snake. It's okay.
He wants to. He's got a big bad
Just
snake
big.
for you, Sim.
Just big.
Whoa!
To be clear, this is Doodle Snake.
Okay.
Damn, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's about the size of a small building, and this is our protagonist for this story up here going, thank God I'm in this freaking thing.
Right until like it starts going, starts getting shaky or whatever.
Nah, he doesn't notice them.
You want to see something bigger and meaner?
Absolutely.
Bring it on, Sim.
Mm-hmm. I'm sharing.
Kino Subway says Sim calls his manhood the French tickler.
See that big mofo?
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and he's got a tiny little dress. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Hey
impressed.
man, gotta let your nuts hang.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got a mushroom tip.
Is this is this for the is this the thing that you're doing for Phil, or is this
No, this is the Mona. This is gonna be an ink slayer.
Oh, gotcha.
This is gonna be an ink slayer, yeah.
Oh man, fantastic.
What is he,
Oh.
like some demon titan or something? Or is it another giant alien?
Looks like
No, he's a
showed up-
demon. He's the demon king.
Looks like he showed up to kick some ass.
Yeah. You're about to see how the Mona free herself from the demon king. This is what this is all about.
Oh, cool.
I think he's compensating for something.
You're probably right.
If he wasn't, he would need a much larger skirt.
Because right now in that scene is like, come out and face me, bitch. So yeah, you're probably right, guy. Like
You never know. He might tuck, or have like be wearing a banana hammock under there.
Well, here's the thing. How much of a king can he be if a little girl beats him up? Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just saying, like, I'm more curious about why do you guys mind just goes into wondering what the hell's under this fucking loincloth.
We're deviants because we're deviants.
That's kind of like,
Hey,
I
I was just trying to show a snake pic from Doodle, and then your mind went there and everything like that. I just followed your train of thought, man.
No. That was them. Yeah, I just showed you something that was bigger and meaner.
Again, it sounds to me like you're trying to compensate for something. Mine's bigger than yours, son.
And meaner.
I don't know. I showed a snake guy. You show a giant snake. I don't know.
Hey,
Horror radio.
you reminded me something. Leads us to Six Gun Gorilla. There you go.
Yeah.
The big gun down.
The giant freaking ape with giant freaking hand cannons.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
You can't call that guns. They're hand
Yeah,
cannons.
I think like everybody's
And
compensating.
howitzers. Well, I mean, he is a gorilla, and gorillas do have small wee-wees. That is a fact. But
Is that why they're so pissed all the time?
well, I mean, they're not pissed all the time, but they look pissed all the time. Because that's the whole thing with gorillas. They roar and they charge. It's all a bluff. They're like really peaceful critters, but not this one.
Peaceful critters.
Yeah, man.
Why didn't somebody tell me I had the
Gorillas?
wrong brand up? Nobody warned me. It's like I still had a whole talk
Gorillas?
up last
Yeah, there's not a single case of a gorilla harming a human being that's been recorded in history. Chimpanzees, on the other hand, will rip
they'll
your
kill you.
fucking
I don't know.
face
I've heard
off,
it.
rip your genitals off, eat your fucking foot. They will fuck you up. But gorillas are actually really peaceful herbivores. But as I said, not this one. Not when you piss them off. And so basically, I wrapped up the campaign on Indiegogo. But you can still get the big gun down. You can't get the trade paperback anymore. That's
I have it.
yeah, boy. And but you can get. I am selling this with floppies, so you can get floppies of the previous issues. And this is a short campaign, just 30 days total. Got it funded within 12 hours, which was cool. But also made sure to set my goal at like $300 to boost the algorithm and all that stuff. But it's a great book. Everybody really seems to love it, and I couldn't be more grateful. Sim, did your daughter check out the trade paperback?
Yeah, she did, but she didn't read it yet.
Okay.
She when she saw it, she grabbed it. She started flipping to it, but she has to catch up on her homework.
Gotcha. I didn't send that really for you. I sent that for her.
I know. I told her.
Oh man, when you told me that story that she snatched the big gun down out of your hands, like, gink, that made me happy.
Yeah, yeah. When I showed her the big one, she goes. She just took it and she left, and she goes, "I'll read it later. Pull it aside, please."
Nice.
It is bigger, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's the first 6 issues in the trade.
By the way, it looks good.
Thanks, brother. Thanks.
Yeah, it really does. And you're right, he does have hand cannons.
Yeah. Hand howitzers.
Yeah, that's not revolvers. That's head cannons.
Yep. Yep, it's a revenge western with a fucking gorilla with big fucking guns blowing big fucking holes in very, very bad people.
Yeah, the art reminds me a bit of that Scotty Young type of style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Adrian was a real talent, man. Adrian was a real talent. At least, I mean, sometimes he would rush his work because, he was working on other stuff, trying to pay the bills. But when he nailed it, he freaking nailed it. And this last issue, he nailed it.
And it's not technically a style that, pleases me as much, but the storytelling, I have to say, is solid. So
Thanks, brother. Greatly appreciate it. Well, he usually would illustrate in a more cartoony style.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of met each other halfway and ended up with a style that we were both happy with. Because that's the thing, you want to make sure that your art, obviously you as the writer want to be happy with it, but you also want the artist to be happy with it.
And when you, depending on the story you're saying, you didn't want it to look like a children cartoon, but you did want it to look maybe like a cartoon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you want that cartoon style, but that mature cartoon style.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and oh man, he just killed it with that cover. Oh, beautiful, beautiful work.
Mm-hmm.
And in January, February or so, we'll be launching the campaign for Six Gun Gorilla 8 Cemetery Without Crosses, which will be illustrated by Preston Acevedo. And he's the first 10 pages or so were finished by Adrian before he passed away. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be using those as roughs, as like breakdowns.
Interesting.
So hopefully there'll be like a nice, smooth transition. And I'm not sure whether it's going to be in an ash can or in the back of the issue, but at some point I'm also going to be releasing like the last art that he did, like the last pencils that he did.
And you know what? Oh, he left? Drew just left?
Drew just cut out. He's like, peace out. See ya.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm done with you, MFers. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say, if you're that, we're also working on a short story together.
Yes.
And I was about to share a little teaser.
Oh, please.
Those little, remember those little concept art?
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's way before what Drew got by the mail.
Yeah, I got something in the mail today. I've been these are the, a lot of people buy comics different than I do. I ever since I've been like doing the crowdfunding thing, I've been like hunting down certain comic books in the mail, you know what I mean, to be mailed in. And today I got what number is this? I can't remember. Another Flash Gordon. I've been buying Flash Gordons.
Nice.
So this one again. This is a probably a 1980. Let's see. Is there a date on here?
Is it a reprint of like the old comic strips?
Yeah,
gotcha.
This is no what. Well, it might be the comic strips compiled into, because it is comic strip format.
Alex Raymond,
you know, to some degree, but not all the pages are like that. Like if you here, let me solo. Let's see what you can see. Some of the pages are, laid out not like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that doesn't look like Alex. Doesn't look like Alex Raymond to me. That was. I wonder if that was because remember there was a very short-lived Flash Gordon animated series. I wonder if that was a tie-in for that.
These are the. This is like, if you look at the publisher, this is.
Wow.
This is like the original. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
man.
The original. I have 29 here. This one's unnumbered. I was tripping out just now. This one's unnumbered. I got to figure out what number that is.
Oh man, I remember like when I was a kid, you would get those at the supermarket in a bag with like a bunch of other comics.
And I just bought these. These came like 2 days ago, and these are the ones that are based on the Sam Jones character.
Yeah, I've got those. Flash. Nothing but a man.
Yeah, I actually I've actually read all of these once before as a child, because they're all like late 70s, early 80s. Flash Gordon books are, so that was the era I was reading comic books pretty hardcore. So so I was definitely exposed to those before. So I've actually been trying to track them down so I could read them again. I'm still soloed. That's so annoying. So I could read them again and refresh with because like when I read them then, obviously I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like I know some of the storylines, some of the story arcs kind of stuck with me, but for the most part, it's like how the writing was. It's like now I can go back as somebody who actually has made comic books and just relive some of my favorite
Oh,
tropes is basically
yeah, man.
what I'm doing. And Flash, and as everybody who knows, and if you've read Captain Love, you definitely know Flash Gordon was
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Flash
man.
Gordon, Buck Rogers, those were like, and then Heavy Metal had a whole bunch of cool fantasy sci-fi series stuff, but Flash Gordon was like, I don't know, man. It was just it's written really kind of like very simple and straightforward and boom 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 boom.
Yes.
And it's really I don't even know if like something like that would come out today, if it would even go over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I really dig the way that the storytelling is. It's just very basic. You know what I mean? It's just
And it's very much like the movie serials, you know what I mean? Like the old Republic movie serials, which then in turn had a huge effect on cinema. The James Bond movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark, those are all heavily inspired by the old Republic movie serials, which were inspired by the Alex Raymond Flash Gordon strip. Yeah, it was very episodic storytelling. And just great stuff. Just like you hop on and you're on that freight train, and you go where the author's taking you, where he's pulling you. Yeah, great stuff, man. Yeah, that's a property I'm baffled like why they haven't done anything with that recently. Like why there hasn't been there was that horrendous Flash Gordon TV series that came out, I think maybe like 10 years ago, that was like unwatchable.
I missed the Flash Gordon series. However,
Good.
I do know that that I have heard of projects being kicked around for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
But the thing is that the to beat what has been done already, to one up the Sam Jones version, you would have to go another level, because you can't go like all dark and and simple and low budget like they do with fucking shit now. You know what I mean?
Well, what you would want to do is you'd want to do something like Star Wars. The reason why Star Wars was such a hit, and why the Flash Gordon movie from like 1980, as much as I'm sure you love it and I love it, it's a very Italian movie, and it's very campy. The reason why Star Wars was such a hit was because it wasn't campy.
Right.
And it took itself just seriously enough, but still it had a sense of adventure and fun. Mm-hmm. And so, if you were going to do Flash Gordon today, I would love to see a Flash Gordon movie. Yeah, like every now and then you hear rumblings. A Doc Savage movie, I've heard rumblings about that too. Maybe starring The Rock, maybe starring Chris Hemsworth. But these movies never seem to materialize. It's a shame.
Chris Hemsworth would actually make a good Flash Gordon.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but not so much a Doc Savage, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. No,
yeah.
But
I love me some Doc Savage too.
He would make an excellent Flash Gordon, and in fact, somebody probably should consider making Flash Gordon with Chris Hemsworth while he's still young enough to pull the role off.
Well, I know that Sam Raimi was talking about wanting to do a picture that included, I think, Flash Gordon, the Shadow, Doc Savage, and I think maybe like another, maybe Mandrake the Magician or something like that. Remember there was that cartoon, Defenders of the Earth, that came out, I think, like in the 80s.
Yeah, but I'll just say
The
leave Chris
Phantom.
Hemsworth alone. I want him for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you have to bulk up a littleit though.
This always kills me, man. These ads.
Siemens
Yeah,
Four?
man.
The little Richie Rich one pager with Twinkies.
Yep. Those hostess ads. I've seen people do contemporary satires on those, and those are always fun.
Yeah, Flash Gordon is like one of those books that I mean that I wish that I had probably read more. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think it would have influenced me too much before I had started Captain Love. You know what I mean? Like if I had like read it before writing my own series, you know what I mean? Like immediately before,
Maybe.
it would have influenced me too much.
I know that's a fear for a lot of writers. I used to have that. I find, it's not an issue for me, but
I think it helps to steer away from doing.
Yes, because that's also a fear. Like, wait a second, I don't want this to be too much like something else that's out there. Or especially, because sometimes, and almost every writer will have done this at one point or another, where you think that, where you put something in and you took that from somewhere and you don't even remember that you took it somewhere else, you got it from somewhere else, you think it was your idea. And that could be quite embarrassing. That hasn't happened to me with a published comic yet, but...
Andrew, can you share my screen for a sec?
I had my cursor over it for when we were done talking about Flash Gordon.
Just a little sample of what me and Brian are going to be working on.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Some of the first concept art.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Oh, man, he's got a longest messer there.
Imagine a double barrel elephant rifle with a sword in it.
That's some fucking metal right there.
What's he gonna take down with that?
Oh, you'll see.
You'll see. Actually, it's not a longest messer. It's a grossa mesa. Which means, little.
You have Flash Gordons, Brian? Also
oh yeah.
In your collection?
Oh yeah. In my boxes.
You have the ones based on the Sam Gordon series, right? You have those?
No, I have the ones that are inspired by the TV series, the animated series, and also, of course, like the old Alex Raymonds. I've got some of those in hardcover, and boy, those are just fun. Those are just a absolute joy to read. I mean, of course, they're very dated, but
Well, the artwork on these are obviously dated. You know what I mean? But I was.
It's not always a bad thing.
Well, no, I look at it as for a lot of different reasons. I mean, look at these. The cover work on these were awesome. I mean, it was
yeah, man.
It was fucking but you think about like where the comic book audience was then. How comic books had just come back into like a hard push into media. Comic book stores were an actual thing. You wouldn't just get your comic books at the drugstore. There were now comic book stores, like I don't know when that started, but I remember when it was like the late 70s when I first heard of and found a comic book store for the first time ever. You know what I mean? And where it was a store that was nothing, and it was tiny. And it was a store where it was nothing but comic books, and then they weren't like collectors comic books. It was like a collection of the recent stuff, you know what I mean? And then there were, no, I do remember there were some collector stuff but the stuff that they collected was like, like a really old Spider-Man and really old Batman. And like, I remember looking at he had a copy of like the first Superman, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. It was not for sale. You know what I mean? Of course, it was for us to look at, admire, and wish that we could read it, and he would not let us touch it.
In Midtown Comics, there's a little bit of a non sequitur, but in Midtown Comics in Manhattan, the guy who owns that place has like a poster for Frankenstein, the 1932 James Whale movie. That's about the size of a wall, and it's worth $1 million. Cool. And he ain't selling that thing for nothing.
And it's on the wall.
It's on the wall.
Is it like encased in plexiglass?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
Okay.
protected. It's protected. You don't want somebody accidentally, somebody's kid accidentally wiping their ice cream cone or something.
Yeah, that's what I was
Sticking their
thinking. I'm
nose.
like, it's like if you
No
got that shit on
fucking
display,
way, man. No, he's got that shit protected, son.
yeah.
NECA's coming out with Defenders of the Earth action figures. They look great, says Boz. Oh man, especially with like a Ghost Who Walks. Love me some Phantom too. That's another character I've got quite a few
The Phantom
comics of. The Phantom, man.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the Phantom. I think the Phantom actually follows me on Twitter, which is weird. Like the Twitter account that they actually have representing the series. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the legal status of the Phantom is. I would love to do like a Phantom 6-gun crossover, although the ultimate for me would be Tarzan versus 6-gun Gorilla at the center of the earth. That's my dream project. And I can announce it because it's likely never, ever, ever going to happen, but you never know. I can dream.
Yeah, so basically you want to have Tarzan, 6-gun Gorilla, and Jules Verne all mixed into one.
No, at the center of the Earth. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Right.
Not at the center of the Earth, at the Earth's core.
Okay.
Pellucidar. That's like the Edgar Rice Burroughs world. And he did have a story where Tarzan goes to Pellucidar. So it would be a story where like Tarzan and 6-gun are in Pellucidar fighting telepathic flying reptile men.
I'm about to say, were they enemies or allies?
Oh, well, I mean, you got to have them tangle and then maybe join forces because they're both good guys. But basically, the 6-gun Gorilla for me was just Tarzan in reverse. That's my little secret. Not so much of a secret anymore, but that's how I wrote it. Tarzan in reverse. Love me some Tarzan. Oh man, the old Joe Kubert Tarzan comics, those are awesome. Remember those were coming out when I was a wee lad, and I just gobbled those up.
Well, I think that's pretty much good for a show tonight. We have covered a bunch of good things. We got a good look at Havoc, and everybody, if you have not got yourself on that mailing list, the link is in the chat. If you're on Facebook, it's right there with the video. And we hope you will get your name on there, get your email in there so that you can get notified when that's getting ready to go live. Any special things you want to tell them that come with signing up on the mailing list? Like, do they get a naked lap dance from you or something like that?
Trading card or something?
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants a naked lap dance from me. But yes, they will be getting a trading card, an exclusive trading card for anyone who signs up to the mailing list.
Excellent.
And hopefully we'll have more things waiting for you in the campaign. If you shared my screen earlier, that is our design for the pinup. Our designer is currently working on a background for that, so that's going to be finished soon.
Yeah, we were sharing that for a while till you closed it.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
But yeah, that's our pinup.
Nice.
And I will be posting regular updates on Twitter, and don't worry, I won't be spamming anybody until the campaign is about to launch.
And before we call it a night, there's one more thing that I want to go over for one of our friends who is not here with us tonight, but he will be probably in the next couple weeks. And that is Adam. And his book, The Kill Journal, is kicking ass.
Hell yeah.
Great.
He's got a lot of people involved in it. He's got a lot of hands on deck. He's doing very, very well. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of Horror Talk. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he is.
So if you are looking for something, you've already backed all our shit, and you want something else to back, check out The Kill Journal. From a little birdie on the grapevine has announced several times that Brian Krishkow has a little story in this one. You want to talk about about jizzing on yourself when you saw the artwork?
Oh my god! It's so good. It's so good, man. I'm telling you, I looked at that artwork, and especially the colors. The colors are absolutely perfect, beautiful. And I just looked at it and I was just like, my crappy story is not worthy of this awesome art. So yeah, people, you're going to want to check this out. And just the basic concept itself is amazing. Adam's amazing, and this is just going to be an amazing book, man. And woo boy, man, I think for $40 you can get the hardcover, which is going to be printed in vegan leather. And it's not embossed, it's debossed, which is to say it's got like all these little occult symbols and stuff like pushed into the cover. You go check it out, man. Without a doubt, this is like one to back.
Yeah, it actually looks like it's going to be a very, very beautiful art book to have in the house. You know what I mean? Just like the actual book itself.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if he does like a series where the books are all slightly different leather colors or something. That would be
Nice.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's
All
next
right.
level.
Yeah, so definitely check out the Kill Journal before we split. Let's hope I've actually pushed audio on this. We're gonna listen to the video for him real quick. I did not do audio, did I? Damn it!
Seemed like it.
Not hearing nothing.
Damn it! All right, we shall do that again.
Take 2.
Yeah, it's all good.
War alone. I need. There's a war going on, and I've seen the enemy. Revenants is what they call them. Vengeful souls back from the dead and hungry for blood. I can't fight the war alone. I need soldiers. Those who face the evil that lurks in the shadows. Those who've lost someone. Those with nothing left to lose. I can take their broken lives and reshape them. I can make them into something violent and holy. I can give them revenge, but I cannot give them peace. Only God can do that, and He stopped listening to me long ago. There's a moment that comes when they know whether they're a victim or a survivor. There's a war going on. Which one will you be?
Sweet.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah, was that awesome?
Yep.
Yeah, the way I describe it is that it's like a slasher movie with a conscience, basically.
Well, that's an interesting way to describe
It looks incredible. Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And the basic premise is just very, very, very cool. You know, it's like basically he's asking the question of like, what happens to the final girl, like after the movie is stopped, you know, and the credits have rolled. What happens to these people after their families, their friends have been butchered by these fiends, and they're just left standing there. It's a really interesting take. I think horror fans especially are going to get a real kick out of it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. So everybody, thank you for coming. Make sure you check out Six Gun Gorilla on Kickstarter. And
Captain Love, don't forget Captain Love.
Yeah, please back Captain Love.
And
I would say that most of the people probably watching right now or watching later have probably already backed Captain Love. But maybe
you
tell
can still say go back to Captain Love when you close down, dude.
Go buy a poster. Sign up for Havoc. Check out Tales from the Natverse, and then spread the love around. I tell people about Captain Love. If you don't already have a book, get a poster, get a T-shirt. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Spread the love.
Spread the love around. I could use the help. So anyway, thank you very much for coming to the show, and we will talk to you soon.